Ladies and gentlemen, after some really brutal big hitting and some very, very, very long sixes, we finally come to the end of the last match here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And the Royal Challengers Bangalore have beaten the UP Warriors convincingly. With us today is Karthik Ramakrishnan and Vivan, who's going to be taking us through the entire match. Hi, Karthik. Hi, Vivan. Uh,
Hi.
to start us off with, Karthik, just tell us, your initial thoughts. We'll get into the RCB batting, but just starting off, RCB for the first time as won a game after batting first. It does couldn't come at a better time. So your initial views.
Yes, again, as you said, this was the last leg of the Bangalore game before we move on to Delhi. And, so far we saw chasing team have got always upper advantage, but batting first, putting close to a 200 plus, and then defending such a total against such a, powerful batting lineup like QB Warriors, that was just phenomenal. Yes, it was the last game, and they have given their RCB fans a very good, they've ended in a good note. And with a win, especially when you play your last league match in your home ground and end that match with a win, it's always a pleasant memory for the fans going forward. And I think the fans will take and cherish on this moment that they ended, but now they've started that winning, getting back to winning ways, and hope they can carry this momentum to Firoza Kotla and Delhi in the next coming games they'll be playing.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know what,
Vivan,
guys?
there was something you was telling us backstage just before we got on the show. Something about both of us being really good, predictions. Please take that about what that was.
No. You know what, guys? Actually, I think RCB is watching our show. I think Royal Challengers Bangalore have subscribed to Stumps and Sixes because in the last episode, when Sakshi had asked me after the RCB versus MI game, when RCB had lost, she asked me whether what should RCB change. So I told her that maybe RCB should bring in S. Meghna to open with Smriti Mandana, and maybe Devon can come at 3 or 4. And that is exactly what RCB did today. So when I tuned in to my TV, I was like, when I saw S. Meghna run in with Smriti Mandana, I was like, wow, they are like listening to me. And I think maybe great minds think alike, or I don't know. But I think coming to the match, I think it was the last game
Yeah,
of Bengaluru.
we'll get to the match
Yeah.
now. Just talking about, just I have something to add about what you just said. I don't know if the Royal Challengers Bangalore, is following us, but if stumps and sixes don't work out, I think we all of us can get jobs at RCB. At least that's one way to think about it. I don't know if I can say it, but yeah, definitely a couple of right predictions from you, and even I got Perry right, and I don't know, I know us viewers can't see the chat link where while we are when this goes out tomorrow morning, but there's even our show coordinator, Shanmukh sir also said a Smriti 100, and Smriti got definitely close to it. So we're getting a couple of calls right, some great signs for us and as well as RCB, and we want to take us through that batting lineup. You called it a few matches ago, and it took them a couple of matches to catch on to what you were saying, but they finally have. And how well has it paid off for RCB this match?
I think talking about the match, it was the last game in Bengaluru, and it was like RCB had to channel the support they were getting in that last game, and they did capitalize on it. I think they played exceptionally well today, and they got that two important points, that crucial win today, which took them with MI and DC to 6 points, and UP Warriors, who lost today, are on 4 points, and Gujarat Giants follow. They are obviously they have not opened their account yet. They are on zero. But talking about the match, I think the last game today at Chinnaswamy and RCB girls played like it. I think it was the way they played. It was like them saying a thank you to RCB because the RCB army has been phenomenal this season, and I think they deserve it, and Chinnaswamy fans enjoy every moment of it. Don't you think, Karthik?
Yes,
Absolutely. And
absolutely.
just another thing, Karthik, just another thing, how it, the fact that you were saying that they changed the entire batting lineup. I think one thing that caused them trouble all through was the fact that they couldn't get going in the power play. I think that was lifted off Smriti Mandana's chest, and Meghana took it amazingly. And Perry's always been a good contender at the one down, and everybody chipped in today. That's great news. Karthik, talking about the UP bowling.
Yes.
They looked all over the place. A couple of drop catches. Maybe in the end they got a couple of good ones. Thanks to Poonam Kemnar, who caught a couple of cut ones. But up front, even in the power play or even later after that, they were all over the place, don't you think? And what do you think? What do you think of the returns today?
Absolutely. I think RCB had came up with a plan, and I feel more than you just can't blame the bowlers. The pitch was such a batting good surface. It was not just RCB did well and UP Warriors did completely nothing. Even UP Warriors, we saw the way their openers start and the rest of the batters started. So it was typically a very good batting surface. I feel it was. I think this is the best batting wicket so far. We have seen RCB a mid in Bangalore mid-court batting surface. We have seen a lot of bowling dominant surface, but this was a typical 200 plus wicket, which we usually see in IPL games over the years, where we saw batting first, you get 200 plus score, and the chasing team come close or chase down with the help of Dew. So, but yes, the UP Warriors, there was much they couldn't do because it was an excellent batting surface. But then again, they tried their level best to get wickets. But as you said, drop catches don't help, especially when your players like Smriti Mandana, Ellis Perry standing playing against you. You really can't take their wicket lightly by putting down catches or doing such things because they are very big. And especially we talk about great players are the one if you drop their catches, they make you pay for the rest of the game. And Spriti Mandana and Ellis Perry made sure that UP Warriors paid that price by getting to a mammoth total of 200.
Absolutely,
Yeah, you're
absolutely
bang
great,
on, right?
great
Actually, I
size it
can
was.
I can't help but
Yeah.
draw a comparison. Taking back to the World Cup,
Yes,
Afghanistan dropped the catch of Glenn Maxwell in that game, and he
yes,
went on to play the best ODI inning the game has ever seen in chasing cause. And I think these players like Glenn Maxwell, or be it Smiti Mandana in this case, I mean, when you have such a player in your team, the opposing team is like every day they are making strategies how to get this player out. And once that chance comes at you, you just grab it with both hands. You can't drop catches. You can't drop Smriti Mandana. I think Smriti Mandana and like I said, Meghna, it was a smart decision. They started absolutely well. Smriti Mandana was in the mood today. And I think Sophie Eccleston has set her up perfectly in that seventh over. Till the in the power play, they were cruising. But when Sophie Eccleston came into play, she showed why she's the best bowler in T20 cricket. And she has a height. She's a tall girl. She gets turn and bounce, which lots of bowlers don't get. That is the advantage she has over the other bowlers. She completely sets Smriti Mandana up, and the catch that Smriti Mandana chance she gave to Atapatu, I think it was an easy catch. She misjudged it. She dropped it. And I think even the crowd, when the ball went up, there was a hush in the crowd because I think when you're watching Smriti Mandana, you never get enough of her, of watching her. I mean, you want to keep watching her. I think the crowd also felt ki, is this the end of Smriti Mandana? But when the catch was dropped, there was a roar in the crowd because that time even I knew, even the whole Chinnaswamy knew, Smriti Mandana is going to make them pay today. And then you saw Smriti Mandana dance down the ground, play lofted shots out of the ground. And it was an exceptional captain's inning from Smriti Mandana. And that drop catch, I think UP Warriors can say that they dropped the match there.
Absolutely. And I think, good point you mentioned about Sophie Eccleston. I think she was the only bright spot for UP today. And even, the fielding was below par. I know in the end, I mentioned a couple of good catches by Kemnar, but barring that, just purely bad. And you said some big names, you drop them and, you pay. And I'll tell you, as an RCB fan, when you have some really big names, there's one day all of them come good together. And I think this is one of those days and great batting performance. But coming into the second innings, Vivan, tell us, when they came out to chase, there were kind of mixed fortunes out there. Renuka got a couple of dot balls up front and then went for a very, indisciplined over, I'll call it. It was all over the place. He kept bowling wides after wides. So at the halfway mark, or say the end of the power play, they kind of had a good score on board. What went wrong in terms of the UP batting?
No, I think I'll come to what went wrong, but I think I'm very impressed by the way UP Warriors approached the chase. Because nowadays, I think these girls are mentality monsters. Because when you see at a 198, it's a daunting total. It is natural for you to feel daunted about a 199. And how often have we seen a chasing team to come and try too hard at the start, and maybe we can see 100 all out and a team winning by 90 runs or something. But the way Alisa Healy and Kiran Navgire started, the first over, like you mentioned, Renuka started with a maiden, but they did not lose the wicket. So Alisa Healy played her well the first over, even if it went for a maiden. And from the second over, you can see it was raining boundaries and sixes. The start which they desperately needed, they got it. I think that was when I was thinking these girls are mentality monsters, because when you see a target like 198, they don't see it as a daunting task. They see it as an opportunity, and that is exactly how you should approach a chase. So first of all, I was really impressed by the approach UP Warriors showed, because they went at doing everything to get that win. If they would have won today, this would have been a hat trick of wins. They had gained momentum, they had gained confidence this opening pair. But I think Kiran Navgire got out. Then Grace Harris, I think, Grace Harris got out. I think Richa Ghosh, you can't not mention her keeping today. Because when
Yeah,
I talk
absolutely.
about Grace Harris, I
No, we'll get to
immediately,
that. We'll get to that, Vivan. We'll
yeah,
absolutely get
yeah,
to
yeah,
that. We're just covering the batting. Yeah.
yeah.
Tell
So,
us.
okay. Batting, I'll talk about the batting. So, like I said, UP Warriors, the only difference between the two sides was RCB did not lose wickets and UP Warriors lost wickets. Other than that, if you compare their innings progression, both teams had a very good run rate. I think UP Warriors had maintained the asking rate, but the factor which UP Warriors lacked was losing wickets. Grace Harris got out, Atapattu got out, even Shweta Sehrawat got out. Once you start losing wickets, the pressure fell on Alisa Healy. I think she played brilliantly, but one girl cannot. 198 is not something one individual
Absolutely.
brilliance can get you. So I think the wickets were the difference. And of course, the catch drop, like I said, they didn't drop the match because losing by 30, 40 runs, I think if Smriti Mandana was dropped at 28, if she added 50 runs, that's
After that,
massive.
yeah,
So if
absolutely.
she wouldn't have added those runs, maybe the total would have been less and UP Warriors would have chased, because UP Warriors have been chasing two back-to-back games brilliantly. I
Right.
would say that.
Karthik,
Yes,
just your points on
absolutely.
that as well. Your points on that as well. But add to that, he spoke about how they've paced their innings perfectly, but they kept losing wickets. Do you think they should have also followed RCB and made a couple of changes in the batting lineup? Or do you agree with what Vivan said as that, they just kept losing wickets?
They just kept losing. One of the things is so far it's going to be good. Except the first game, they got Kiran Nagare in the top, and the last hat trick of wins. We have seen that the openers do it, and everything is going smoothly. I don't think anything has to do with their batting. Yes, putting runs on the board like a 200 and chasing down 200. It's a two different mediocre, two
Right.
different things. Because
Absolutely.
when you're chasing such big total, there are a lot of things that go. The net run rate, the number of balls that is remaining, the number of runs to score, these things when come into mind. But in the case of while putting runs on the board when you're batting first, these things are not there. While batting first, your objective is that I have to get to a good total that my bowlers have something to defend with. So especially in the first 3 overs, the way they started, I felt that it was UP Warriors will get another win in a row. But then you can see that after the power play start, they just kept on losing wickets. You have to understand the first 6 overs, the field restriction in T20. You can go bang on, nothing will happen. Post the first 6 overs, you see the fielders were coming outside. So they were going with the same intent post the first 6 overs. It just didn't happen. So after getting that start, maybe they should have capitalized. And like RCB also got the start in the first 6 overs.
Similar
Then they
start, yeah.
lost the wicket, and then Ellis Perry and Smriti Mandhana played smart cricket, not just go bang bang on. Only they targeted the loose delivery, which was meant to be hit. If they had done something like that, maybe a Halis Sealy or Athapattu or anyone else, who knows? The game could have gone down to the
Would
wire.
have been a completely different
Yes,
story altogether, definitely. And Vivan, coming back, you mentioned in your last time that Richa Ghosh's brilliant catch, and also add to that the brilliant stumping that she got as well. Add to that, the couple of great fielding performances Ellis Perry's been putting. And again, this is the third time mentioning she ran all the way from mid wicket till long on. Right, that is something you don't see every day. Talk us through RCB's fielding and bowling too in the second innings.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about UP Warriors chasing this total, you feel to get 198, who are the best two batters for UP who will get them there? You'll say Grace Harris and Alyssa Healy. Because
Absolutely.
Grace Harris
Yeah.
is the orange cap winner. Like she's in the hunt for the orange cap. I think last match she played brilliantly. And you
Yeah.
see that catch. Grace Harris tried that cheeky shot. Richa Ghosh anticipated it and took that diving catch. Alyssa
Yeah.
Healy, the stumping, any keeper would have missed it, and it could have like Smriti Mandhana's chance missed was this thing. I think even if Richa Ghosh would have missed that stumping, Alyssa Healy could have gone to contribute more. But Richa Ghosh's brilliance behind the stumps got them two crucial wickets for RCB to maximize their chances to win the game. Like you said, you can't keep Alyssa Perry out of the game. I mean, after that brilliant batting performance in the first over itself, like you said, running to save the boundary, I think she's an athletic player. You just can't keep her out of the game.
Right.
Brilliant
And
fielding
Karthik,
from us.
who was the standout performer in RCB's bowling today?
yeah, I wouldn't say standout performers, but the fact is that to get a start like this and then get wicket at break the way they got the start, it looked like they were under. Look at the way the UP Warriors got in the first six. It looked like the run rate wasn't there with them. Everything was under UP Warriors. It's just that they had to take in. So post that to get wickets at intervals and finding to break partnership, especially when they lost 3 wickets and when Alisa Healy was there and when there was small partnership uh, coming up like small areas,
Yeah.
they were just getting breakthrough at interval. And when you get breakthrough at interval, when a side is chasing a mammoth total like this, it just puts the pressure and it puts them in the back seat, because when a wickets come, it's all about rebuilding the partnership. And rebuilding partnership takes time when you get a new partner. So they were just trying to put the pressure by getting wicket after wicket, which they did post the power play. And that's where I think UP Warriors lost. They couldn't get one stable partnership post the power play to carry on, which the RCB bowlers just kept on taking wicket after wicket in intervals.
Absolutely, absolutely great. And just one incident that we have to mention that happened in the second innings was the LBW call. That was given
Yeah,
to Atapattu. The captain seemed clearly not happy with that call. You could see her mouth,
yeah,
no
sure.
way, no way. So clearly, I think a couple of times. I think personally, if I had to give my opinions, I don't know. I'll take your views on the same too. But to me, it looked like it was a leg spinner, right? It was an out and out leg spinner. It was pitching on middle and leg. And if it was, see, the ball didn't travel until the wicket, right? The Hawkeye technology
Yeah,
just gives us an approximate of where it could have gone. But I think, according to me personally, if I was a third umpire, I think it's pitching on middle and leg, and it's clearly missing the leg stump. It's going out of there. But the way they kind of showed, they say it's, maybe more straighter. They don't think the Chinnaswamy pitch offers that much turn. I don't know. We did see some turn out there, but they probably thought it doesn't turn that much and went straight on to hit the stumps. Atapattu didn't seem happy with it. She was complaining even back at the dugout. Elise Healy looked a different player altogether after that. Maybe it caused her a little bit of mental instability. She's clearly seemed problematic with it. What are your calls? Out or not out? What do you think, Vivan and Karthik? I think
I
Vivan first,
completely
but we'll
agree with you. I think it was a controversial decision, and I think we are seeing many controversial decisions, not just here in the men's games, in the Test matches, India versus England.
yeah,
I think this LPW and the DRS and the umpires call, the ball tracking has been a talking point. Like after every like important wicket, be it a Joe Root wicket or anything, it is causing controversies after the game, and it is leading to that key whether umpires call should be there or not. And today we saw an incident in the WPL, a very similar incident. I think I agree with you. I think it was 100%. It was a leggy, and it was pitching on leg. I agree with you that I agree with Alisa Healy, and actually I agree with the umpire. The umpire was unmoved.
Right. Yeah.
She didn't give
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
unmoved, and the reaction say it all. The Alisa Healy was completely furious at a decision.
Right.
Chamika Atapattu, she had to be dragged out of the field. She didn't want to go out because that's the kind of, and you can even see that she going back, talking to her, seeing the replays. I mean,
Right.
it was a controversial decision, and that did fire up Alyssa Healy. She did get some boundaries and success.
Yeah.
She was in that when even Grace Harris came in. You can like see like
Yeah.
Alyssa Healy was furious. Like you could see her face, that attitude in which she was. I think it was a talking point. Good you brought it
Absolutely.
up.
Karthik, your views. Do you think it's out or not
Yes,
out?
I think it's a controversial. I will say first of all, it's again a technology
Neutral,
and
huh?
tech
You being a little neutral there, Karthik.
neutral.
Start off with an out or not out. You can give your explanation out or not out.
In my belief, I want to be neutral in this.
Okay, he's on the fence. Cool. Your thoughts.
Yes. So my thought is again, it's a technology. TRS is a basically technology with Hawkeye as well. Again, at the end of the day, technology can make mistakes. Technology cannot be always perfect. It can make mistakes. So I think yes, that is the game changing moment because post that dismissal, you can see Alice Healy's focus got lost because of this dismissal, because of the furiousness. Her focus was on that dismissal. That how can the umpire give that out, and that was in their brain, and that's where the focus led, and that was the game changing point. And especially, we have seen this technology not just in BPL, even in the recent time in the men's game, as he mentioned, the England
Right.
series. So many times we have seen the LBW, whether it is right or wrong, it's become controversial. So
Joe
again,
Root's decision, as he mentioned, right?
Yes,
yes,
yes, Joe Root.
controversial. And to talk about the technology part of it, I'll also wanted to bring. I know I'm comparing with a different sport, but it's again a technology part of the sport. Especially if you want to
Right.
talk about the VAR in the FIFA World Cup 22, there were so
Right.
many controversial decisions that many people complain that there were so many unfair decisions. So yes, this is a technology. We're moving to a technology phase, but again, technology can mistakes, and this was a
Right.
game changing point. And Alice really lost complete focus on it. And as a player, if I was there, I would have been furious. And sometimes this
Right.
furiousness takes your concentration away.
Absolutely. Some mixed views out there. Some people staying on the fence, not having views, but just
Yes,
brings out to the point, as you both mentioned. Technology has its flaws. It's not 100% there.
yes,
And in the meantime, sometimes players, some go your way, some don't. And in the passion
yes,
of the game, sometimes you lose your concentration, and it just shows the conviction and the kind of passion the players have for the game. But all in all, RCB come out great winners. I think a great way to end their home leg of sorts, not exactly a home leg, but a home leg of sorts. And tomorrow we go into the Feroz Shah Kotla and we will have the table toppers, the top two teams take on, which brings us to our prediction time. Vivan, I'll start off with you. Delhi or Mumbai?
I'm going to go with Delhi Capitals because I
Right,
think Delhi Capitals have been the team to look out for. I think in the Bengaluru leg, for me, Delhi Capitals is the best side. I'll pick Delhi Capitals as the best side for that away leg to get those 3 wins out of 4. And I'll say 3 wins out of 4 because the fourth one was a last ball which they were
right,
unlucky to lose. The Sajana came and hit that six.
yes,
Other than that, Delhi have been brilliant in all aspects of the game, batting, bowling, fielding. And now I think the Delhi support, they have seen them play so well, these girls, and tomorrow they are going to be the sea of blue is going to be waiting for them, and they must be so excited to see these girls they have already seen perform in Bengaluru. They are going to be waiting for that support, and I think when the team is already gained so much momentum, playing so well, when you get that kind of support with you, I think you get even more stronger, and maybe Delhi Capitals can become unstoppable at the Kila Kotla, the Pirosha Kotla, and I think and it's a revenge time for Delhi Capitals actually
yeah,
because the last game you can say Delhi Capitals deserved to win that game, but
yeah,
they lost at the finest of margins. Delhi Capitals must be looking at getting that revenge not just of that game, but even of the final last year. And talking about
Absolutely.
that, I would like to bring a very interesting point. Today is the birthday of WPL. Last year,
Right.
the
Yes. To this day.
WPL inaugural WPL started on this day. So I tuned in for the toss. Before the toss, there were some celebrations. There were sweets being had by Sanjana Ganesan and her fellow commentators, expert analysts. There were some good celebrations going on. So I think we are having a very good WPL. Can see the improvement by every game, and I think now moving on to Delhi, very excited, and I think it's going to be the business end now because there are going to be
Right.
reverse fixtures. There are going to be teams looking for revenge for the top three spots, maybe mainly for the first spot. Who will get that first spot to qualify directly for the finals, and then the eliminator. I think we are approaching the business end, and I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Karthik, your views.
First of all, I would love to point about today's practically the first anniversary of VPL. I don't want to say it's an anniversary, but as a birthday of VPL when it was born a year ago, is the fact that
Right.
what we saw VPL back last in this inaugural season when it held in Mumbai, and now look at the amount of crowd, number of people attended,
Right.
number of people are interested. To what if you look at the viewership as well, if you look at from the business angle, VPL's viewership back in 2023 was not as that much as it is now, including the stadium attendance. So we can see how the women's sports is slowly growing. But over the period of time, with more teams, with more venues like the IPL, we can see BPL become one of the biggest leagues and women's sport becoming even more bigger day by day. And coming
Yeah,
to
but
the
what's
point,
your prediction? Your
yeah,
prediction for tomorrow.
I'll get to the point. Is the
Yeah.
fact is tomorrow we go to the new part, we'll be getting to the capital of the country where it is Delhi Capitals versus Mumbai Indians. So in my belief, I'll go with Delhi Capitals. Yes, they're going to have the home advantage as well as they have been in tremendous form. They're going to be a hat trick of wins. So they wouldn't mind defending the best side in the tournament, Mumbai Indians. Go in there and defeat them because the entire home crowd will be behind them. And I don't if we can expect a close counter like we had in the first match of the of the second season here in Bangalore, if we can expect something like that in the first match of this new leg in Delhi, it wouldn't be much surprising to see it. And this time
Absolutely.
maybe
I
Delhi
think
can cross the line.
hopefully. I think
What
I
do you
Yes,
mean
think,
not
Yash?
so hopefully as an RCB fan,
It's
but
not
yes.
obvious because RCB is not playing, so I would like to hear your prediction.
about tomorrow, yeah, good question. I didn't think that would come my way. I'm thinking Mumbai. I think I'm backing
Mm,
Mumbai tomorrow to take it over the line. I think a little bit too much pressure for Delhi. But to talking about the things that you said, just the growth of WPL,
yeah.
over the couple of seasons that it's had is phenomenal, and some really good signs for women's cricket all round. And yes, back to back thrillers. We had a thriller, a great way to sign off. Best way, even we saw Smriti Mandana and her team give a lap of honor for the fans, and rightly deserved so. And as Karthik, you mentioned, hopefully, I think it was Vivan. I don't know who if they beat the RCB crowd. As an RCB fan, I don't want them to, but
Mm.
as a fan of women's cricket, I definitely want to see some more crowds in more numbers of people. So that brings us, guys, to the end of yet another show. Here is Stumps and Sixes, the last match of the Bangalore leg. Bangalore sign off with a thrilling win. Some big names made sure that they get past the line. And tomorrow we come back from the state, from the country capital, as Karthik mentioned, with another header from the top of the table. Until then, it's goodbye and take care.